Good morning, sunshine. I was hoping that I'd be able to see the sunrise this morning. Hello, Mama. Hello, cute girl. We're gonna get much of a sunrise this morning. It's gonna be foggy as foggy. Not really ready to wake up yet, honestly. I was just kind of just hoping for the sun. Hey, I saw your thing about calling you. I already heard about my mom. I already heard about mom. My Aunt Holly called me. Is that what you were texting me about? Or that was what you're telling me to text you about? It's already been daylight savings time, Gio. It happened last night. Good morning, my love. Did you hear? Okay, so Heather. Okay, so guys, first of all, this is a little preface. This is my cousin Heather. She's been in and out of my live streams for a couple of years. Tell Heather hello. She's my blood cousin. This is my cousin on my dad's side. She obviously we've known each other our entire lives. We're literally blood related. She's my literal blood cousin. Okay, so anyway, um so you know how my mom is, Heather. Okay. God, it's so nice to talk to somebody who fucking knows. You know how she is, dude. Okay. So what happened was, do you remember like fucking 10 years ago when my mom got her ass beat by that fucking 17-year-old child who was like 6 foot tall and 300 pounds in the trailer park? Um, so anyway, what happened was my mom moved. Okay, she doesn't live in TPT no more. Okay. So she's not in the trailer park anymore in that time in that spot. She's moved to another like a house, I think. I don't know. I've never been there because I haven't seen her in well over 10 years and I haven't talked to her in probably 7 years at this point. But anyway, so you know that the managers drive around um on their little golf cart or whatever. So the guy who's the manager is like a total douche. And he's like one of those like gun-toting Trumpy guys who's like older, retired bikery, like thinks he's still tough guy, whatever. So we got that guy and then we got my mom, equally the same, only female. Equally as like used to be a tough guy and now doesn't realize that they're 70 years old and needs to stop fucking scrapping like a fucking 12-year-old, right? Like a 12-year-old street urchin. So anyways, so there is the golf cart that the guy drives around in, there was a crash. And it happened right in front of my mom's house. So my mom went outside to look and see what happened, being nosy. And the guy was like, "Listen, just go back in your house. Like, this doesn't involve you, just there's no sense in you coming out and putting your nose in it." And mom was like, "Well, I came out to see what happened just like you did." And, she started getting into I talked to my sister, so I got a little bit more details since yesterday. But anyway, so um she started shit with this man, and they've got a history of fighting, these two, my mom and this guy. So, like, he's already full of her shit, done with her shit.
constant shit, like when she needs something, it has to happen right now. But when he's done something wrong or like some perceived thing has happened against another neighbor, she's up his ass like, you need to do something about this now. Just up his ass, whatever. Anyways, so mom started like puffing up like she does, like getting all like I'm a tough guy. I'm gonna beat your ass. Who the fuck do you think you're talking to, mister? Who you talking to, mister? It's like I can't see my grandmother doing this. But anyway, I haven't seen my mom in 10 years, so I don't know what she looks like anymore. I still have fat, like frog-shaped mom in my mind. But she's not like that. She's been taking Ozempic, so she's like skinny now. It's weird. She looks weird. Everybody says she looks so weird. But anyway, so he pulled out a fucking mag light and bop, 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 bopped her on the head 4 times. Hard as fuck. She almost died. She almost died. And I don't know if she's in the hospital. You might be able to go visit her. But if you do go visit her, I think you moved away. If you do go visit her, please do not tell her about this live stream. Please, I don't want her inserting her. I don't want her to like watch me. I don't want her to see me. I don't want her to hear about me. I don't want nothing from her. I don't want her involved in my life in any way, shape, or form. So, girl, why does it have to be right in front of the fucking camera? But anyway, so yeah, that's what happened, Heather. Yeah, it's her. It's her. It's totally her. I don't know what she looks like after her weight loss. Yeah, the guy who did it got arrested for sure. Yeah. Yeah, the dude who did it definitely got arrested. Yeah, well, I got a friend request. Me too. Okay, so I didn't think it was her. I genuinely thought it was one of the stalkers online trying to pretend to be my mom or something. So I messaged my sister and I was like, "Hey, like, is this mom?" Like, and Brianna was like, "Yeah, she created another account." You can ask Brianna. Everybody in the whole family is mad at me because I posted about it on social media, but I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. This is how I process my feelings. So Brianna might talk shit about me if you talk to her, but Brianna has more information. She's been actually going over there. She's been over there going over there and taking care of my mom. Like, stop doing that, Brianna. She's running herself ragged. She's got a fucking full-time job, a full-time 2 kids and a husband, and overwhelming. She's already overwhelmed. My sister's already overwhelmed, dude, like bad. Cause her husband he's nice, but he's a child. But they got pregnant when they were 21 years old. What do we expect? So anyway, um, I'm not really a super fan of him just because of that, I guess. But I do love him. I think he's a cool guy in general. I've always loved him and thought he was funny and stuff. But he's just a young dude who became a dad too soon and wasn't ready for marriage really. Didn't have his fun as much as he wanted to, and now he's getting older and, he's still not ready to settle. Like, well, he's been a wonderful partner to her at the very least, in the sense that he's never cheated on her and he's never beat her, He's at the very least just been kind of annoying. But anyways, um but I don't really talk to her that much. I just get stuff from my other family members, because I don't really talk to her that much because I don't want to overwhelm her by asking her a bunch of questions about what's going on. And, I figure if she really cared to tell me, she would. Bro, what is that on your butt? It looks like toilet paper. Why do you have toilet paper on your butt? Where did you even get toilet paper? I don't even own toilet paper. I don't use it. Maybe one of them? I don't know. Who would wipe your butt in the middle of the night? It's not a worm. That's why I did a double take. That's why I did a double take. I was like, "Is that a worm?" It looked like a worm, but when I lifted her tail, it wasn't. It's very clearly not. It's like a shred of paper. I don't have a square. I don't smoke. Well, see, I don't believe in Catholic churches because Catholic Church is um patriarchal and paternal, where I don't believe that to be the case. Also, in the Bible it literally says, I think it's actually Jesus's words, correct me if I'm wrong, but it specifically says in the Bible, "Thou shalt not worship any false idols." Okay? And in that whole in the whole series of paragraphs, it's before and after referring to anything, like anything that is not God with a capital G, right? So explain to me why we pray to the Mary, the mother, we pray to saints. That is a literal blasphemy if if you go by the Bible. If you go by God's word, what God said, what God instructed, then Catholics are actually committing blasphemy on a regular basis. So, a square is a cigarette. Right. And she's on disability already because she's an old lady, or whatever. She's on Social Security. She's an old lady. She's been on my mother is one of those. This is why I don't use welfare, because my mom has always been a welfare queen. She has always been the type of person to manipulate the system and to completely legally, nothing she does is illegal, but she knows how to manipulate the system for her advantage. And so that's why I've always felt I got the ick about stuff like that. That's why I work as hard as I do. That's why yeah, because I don't ever want that's another reason. My mom is the reason why I have never tried to take my kid away from my ex-husband. Even when like things are rough between him and I, you will never catch me trying to take away his access to his child, because it's something that my mother did with me. She used me as a pawn, against my dad. Heather and I are related through my dad, and so that's her uncle. But anyways, um, my mom would not let me have a relationship with my dad because he owed her money, and she would dangle me over his head and like, "Okay, you wanna see your kid? Come pay me some money." And he'd have to, like, show up with $1,000 just to have time with me. That's a lot of money for someone who, like, works a fucking, 9 to 5 and is, like, also an alcoholic, you know? It's hard work to fucking come up with a chunk of $1,000 just to have 2 days with your kid. So, that's right. That's right. You never you d so, like, the only person who actually ends up getting damaged in that situation is the child, because the child is hearing the mom talk shit, then the dad talk shit, and you're caught in the middle of all of this. Plus, you know, you're given false hope that you can see your parent when in fact you cannot. But yeah, so because of my mom being the way that she is, like, she can get all of that in-home care through her insurance. Like, through Social Security, she has access to free rides to the doctor. She has access to a free cell phone. She has access to, in-home care, and maybe she won't be able to afford, like, intensely in-home care, like, every day or whatever, but they will do it if the doctor orders it. She doesn't need that. She just needs someone to, like, help bathe her right now. It's just her face is all super swollen, her brain is swollen, so she can't really do much. But so, Heather, maybe you can find this out, um, if my mom is actually in the hospital or not. Brianna and you have a good relationship. You should message her. She totally has more information than me, so if you want in-depth information, you know, you could reach out to her. However, maybe wait a few days because she's kind of still in the thick of it, and she might be getting, like, all kinds of messages right now, so maybe just wait a couple of days until she's, like, got a little bit less intensity on her plate, and also I'll, you know, keep an eye out. Yeah, my dad died. Good morning, good morning. My dad died in, I think drooling. I think he died in, like, 2000 or 2001. I was 14 years old, and I remember so vividly. I was living at a boyfriend's house because, like, I moved out of my mom's. I had to get the fuck away from her, as early as humanly possible. I met this guy on the internet, okay, in 2000. I met this guy on this it was called ICQ, and it was, like, the very first private messaging app. And, like, it was basically like AOL Instant Messenger, but you didn't have to have AOL. So, ICQ. Uh-oh! That was the alert. But anyways, so, we met on ICQ, and he actually happened to be a guy that was my age. Well, he was 18. I was 14 and he was 18. But anyway, he happened to be my age. He happened to be a real guy that was actually living, like he was living with his parents, like he was an actual person that was telling the truth. Thank God that the internet was so small at that time. Um but it was harder to tell, like, if someone was who they say they were, because you couldn't hardly send no pictures. When me and him first met, we had never seen each other before. We had never sent pictures to each other. We had only described or whatever. And so, he wanted me to move in right away. I was a hot thing when I was 14, 15 years old. I was beautiful. I was still so, like, undamaged from the world, and, like, angelic in that sense. I looked a lot like my son. So I looked kind of cherubic, like I looked like, I don't know, like a little angel. And so I got away with a lot when I was a kid. But authority figures just believed me whenever I said something, because, like, I looked like I was telling the truth, but I was a liar. I was a fucking liar. All through my childhood, I lied my ass off. I lied about everything. I lied about the dumbest things. I lied and made up stories that were, like, verifiably not true. I would lie to seem cool, I would lie to seem tough, I would lie to seem like I was more sexually active than I was. I lied about everything. But I had her as an example. It's not a surprise that it is a true testament to my willpower and my drive and the pride that I take in myself and my work, and the love that I have gained for myself over the years, that I do not live my life like Amy, like, for real. If I had just done what I was on the path for by being, like, a child of my mother, I was 1000% on the path to being a drug addict, round and round and round in jail, rehabs, and, I had never overdosed before. I've never overdosed in my entirety. I spent almost 10 years as a opiate addict, and at the end there, I was addicted to fentanyl. Like, I knew I was buying illicit fentanyl. because that's all you could find on the market was the fake blues, just like this Corey Richins trial that's going on right now. When I stopped using drugs, that was coming out on the market. So, like, I was like, "Okay, maybe I shouldn't be doing this anymore." But I never, ever, ever, ever even came close to overdosing. I was way too I didn't play around with myself like that. Had no desire to overdose. I was not trying to die. I was trying to get high because it felt good and I liked it. I like that feeling. I still do. I like the feeling of when you're in that, like, meditative, half dreamy state. I've really I think I might have like, if I had been born in another era, I would have been like one of those oracles that, like, is in a perpetual state of highness and then telling people about what visualize in my fucking half dream states. Like, that would have been, like, the best job for me had I been around in the, ancient Greece times. But, yeah, I never came close to overdosing because I was always too afraid of that kinda stuff. Oh, Heather, I love you. Chemical examiner, can't focus. Any tips? No, honestly. I never went to university like that, and I never took conventional courses, so I don't even know how to study. I don't even know how it's done. Like, when you write things down on paper and then you, like, go back and use that information in a test, I don't know how to do that. My brain doesn't understand that concept. No one ever taught me how to do that. Don't use kratom. Kratom is super dangerous. It is equally as addicting, and, it's actually the withdrawals from kratom are fucking bad. Do not use kratom. Kratom is bad. Bad, 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 bad. All of those listen, I'm telling you right now, you literally can suffer a couple of days of misery, especially if you put yourself in a 3-day, like, grippy sock vacation, not the mental health variety, but a rehab. If you go to a 3-day detox, they will help you to detox comfortably as possible. And you don't have to do nothing. You're not, like, expected to do nothing. You're laying in bed. You could just lay in bed for 3 days, hop in the bathroom's right there. You could go pee. You could fucking take a shower. You could lay in the shower. You could sit in the shower all day if you want. Like, you should do that. You should go and do a 3-day detox protocol. And then once you do the detox protocol, do not take anything. I know it might be a little uncomfortable for a couple of weeks, but get a prescription um, like, a Boost Bar or gabapentin or something that's gonna a muscle relaxer even, something that will help you to, like, fall asleep no matter what. If I take a muscle relaxer, it's gonna put my dick in the dirt. So, I can't take muscle relaxers unless I, like, want to sleep for 2 or 3 days, but my back hurts so bad after, like, 8 hours, I don't even wanna deal with that. But you gotta get off that kratom, dude. You gotta get off that kratom. Please, please, please get off the kratom. Methadone is really bad, obviously. Um, Benzos are the devil. Well, gabapentin is not meant to do you're not meant to take it, like a regular thing. I don't think gabapentin is addictive, FYI. I've been saying this since 2005. Maybe 2009, 2008. Gabapentin is 100% totally addictive. I've watched my friends become addicted to it. Dude, if you have a medically supervised oh my god,
Look at the smile. She's smiling. Look at the smile. Life is rough. Life is rough. Look at that smile. But yeah, a medically supervised
Detox. Detox protocol. Also, like, on the off chance, if you can afford kratom and you can afford all your prescriptions and stuff, then you might be able to actually go and do the big oh, the sun came out. I missed it. It's just so foggy. But anyways, go to Mexico and do the ibogaine treatment protocol. If you do ibogaine, it will literally remove it will go inside of your body and it will take all of the physical addiction out of you. And then when you come back to reality, you no longer have addictions. Like ibogaine literally stops your brain from being addicted to chemicals. Do you really give a shit how someone pronounces kratom? Who cares? Let people mispronounce it. Are you like that invested in kratom that you are like taken up for it? You know? Who cares if someone mispronounces kratom? I'm gonna keep saying it wrong. I'm tired. I gotta go.
I gotta go. I gotta take at least a nap before my client gets here. So I'll be back in about an hour. I'm gonna do dreadlocks. So um I'm gonna take about an hour long nap and then I'll be back. I'll be at the cabin at 9 o'clock my time. So 9 o'clock Pacific time. I'll be doing some dreadlocks. So come and join me. They do. You just have to really invest time, Sean. It has to be something that you want. And because you want it, you will do whatever you have to find the one that is meant for you. So you might look and not find shit. You might look and not find shit, look and not find shit, but don't let that give you up because eventually you will find it. There's a program out there. I've seen
A couple of different places on TikTok. So, check out TikTok. Um, there's like I think I saw like 4 or 5. There's a bunch of places in Mexico that are doing it. I don't know what's going on right now with the like, the unrest, so I don't know how they are all handling it, but go on TikTok, look and see, or even on YouTube, just start looking. Just start looking and like tell God that you're serious and you're done, and that if it would be in your best interest that God shows you exactly what to do, then you'll do that. And then when God starts showing you stuff, you do that.
but also just look it up. Just look up a bunch of places, reach out to a bunch of places, email places, call places, text message places, reach out to people, content creators who you've already seen doing these things. Just just do it. Just do it. All right, I gotta go. I'll be back in about an hour and a half and we'll do some dreadlocks. Bye.